Yo, what's going on, guys? We are back with my way too early Detroit Pistons season preview. I'm currently driving across country to visit my parents in Maryland. So let's get right into it. Let's talk about what's going on over in Detroit. They had a good draft. Let's talk about that draft. Okay, not only did they get themselves the man, this kid's 18. He's the youngest person in the draft, and Jalen Duren has the body. He's 230 pounds, almost 7 foot. They got themselves Jaden Ivey, and everybody said, just wait till Jaden Ivey's out of the Purdue system. Purdue was playing like 3 bigs, 2 bigs. Imagine with all the spacing now that he has, okay? They got them those 2 guys. They also got Gabriel Procida. He's going to spend another season overseas. And let's talk about the guys who left. They brought back Marvin Bagley, good stuff. Luka Garza left. Frank Jackson left. It looks like Roddy McGruder left. And Jamarco Pickett have left, and Carson Edwards. But they also signed Buddy Boeheim of Syracuse, Coach Boeheim's son, and to a 2-way. And also Jalen Duren got signed. Took a little bit. They had to wait to finalize that deal. So let's talk about what they also have. Kemba on the roster. They might keep him as a vet presence, but I think they'll buy him out personally. And Braxton Key's the other 2-way guy. He's a dog. So let's talk about the team. And I think this is a team that could be fighting for a play-in spot. Tell me I'm wrong. I really do believe that they'll be going for a play-in spot. So I think the starting point guard is going to be Cade Cunningham with Jaden Ivey playing shooting guard, Saddiq Bey at small forward, power forward Marvin Bagley because they paid him, and then at center, Isaiah Stewart. They have Nerlens Noel, so I wonder what will happen to Nerlens Noel and not Jaden Ivey, but Nerlens Noel and Kemba. So I expect, Isaiah Stewart, Nerlens Noel, and Jalen Duren to be the center rotation by committee, I assume, with Duren and Stewart playing more than Noel because young guys. Then Marvin Bagley and I believe Isaiah Livers and Kelly Olynyk will rotate the power forward position with Saddiq Bey, probably, Diallo. Is it Hamidi? I can't say his first name. Someone tell me down below how to say his first name. But Diallo at small forward with backing up Bey. And I think we'll see maybe a little bit of potentially Boeheim at small forward when he called up. But I think shooting guard Jaden Ivey will be backed up by a combination of Saben Lee and Kellyanne Hayes and Corey Joseph. While I think for me, I think it's interesting when you look at it currently because this is a team that I think it's interesting, okay? Because also, it says Al Burks is on this team, and I feel like an idiot. When did Al Burks get traded? Okay, so Al Burks got traded. I thought he was going to Houston, but he got altered into the deal with the Pistons. So good for them for getting Al Burks. So I think Al Burks could be actually playing backup shooting guard. I didn't know that. I thought he was still on the Rockets, and for me, I think right now, what I'm saying is you got to look at this team. I think Jaden Ivey is going to be backed up by Al Burks then, and Cade Cunningham backed up by Kellyanne Hayes and Kemba Walker and Corey Joseph, while Corey Joseph, Saben Lee, and Al Burks will back up Jaden Ivey. Saddiq Bey, I think it's a combination. I think Isaiah Livers might get some time there, and Diallo as well. But they're weak at the wing position, let's say that, because they're playing traditional forwards. And I think it's interesting their front court because they have the trade that the way that they got Jalen Duren. It was interesting because they kind of got in a salary dumps. And I wish they got Gabriel Procida to come now because he'd be perfect to bounce between shooting guard and small forward for them. But I do think it is interesting as all hell to see what the Pistons are doing, especially because I wonder, okay? I truly do. And I like Kellyanne Hayes, okay? And I think bringing back Marvin Bagley, who was averaging 15 points, playing very efficient, I think that was the right thing to do. And look, I enjoyed what they've been doing. So for me, I think they have to figure out how to be competitive. What are they going to play all the young guys? Because right now, if they play Cade Cunningham, Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Marvin Bagley, Isaiah Stewart, Diallo, Hayes, that's a 7-man rotation. They have Nerlens Noel, Kemba, and Al Burks. That's 10 guys right there. So I think this is a team that can compete for a play-in spot, but at the same time, like, they need to make sure they have minutes for the young guys. And I'm willing to say, hey, screw the older guys that they're paying a bunch of money, try to buy them out or whatever. But I think it's in their best interest in trying to utilize their younger guys instead of their older guys. Personally, I think that's in their best interest. So, but I think if done correctly, Dwayne Casey can get this team into the play-in easily. I have little doubt that that's possible. I think they're in the right situation, but it comes down to we need them to do this right. Yeah, I think like right now, it's interesting to see what Detroit's doing. I want to hear your opinions, but I think that they need to make sure that they don't just fully go into what the Thunder and Rockets are doing. I think they're in a good situation where they can be a playoff team by next year. Let's get Duren, let's get Ivy and Cade Cunningham and Sadiq Bey. That's your core, and Stewart all gelling together. Bagley's part of that core. That's 6 guys right there. Kellyanne Hayes needs to start looking like that guy. We need Kellyanne Hayes to start, playing actual basketball and not pussyfooting around anymore. Because let's be honest, sometimes it seems like Kellyanne Hayes is just dicking around, and I don't even know what to assume sometimes, because it seems like he isn't trying. Like, I don't want to question his effort, because it just seems like he isn't trying to become the shooter that we know he needs to become. So, like I said, I made a video previously saying that Kellyanne Hayes arguably is running out of time, and I'm going to stick to that argument that he is running out of time, because he needs to show that he can be a player of value for this franchising, because right now he's not cutting it, okay? And I personally want to see more out of him. I know, most Pistons fans probably want to see more out of him, and it's pretty frustrating to see that he still hasn't been able to somewhat shoot. So that's where I want to hear your thoughts. Are you guys on the same opinion with me, that it is kind of frustrating that he hasn't been able to shoot? And I don't know, I think this is his last year. They could ship him out at the deadline if it isn't working, because they kind of now have regressed him to the bench. Like, Jaden Ivey's replaced him. It's Jaden Ivey and Cade Cunningham. Like, Kellyanne Hayes is an afterthought. Kellyanne Hayes is entering his 3rd season, and he still hasn't really shown what we knew he was capable of out in Europe. So for me, I think it's interesting to see, and time first will tell what will happen with Kellyanne Hayes. But I really think they're in a situation to be a playoff team, and not a playoff team, a play-in team, but a playoff team in a year. I know some people are going to be like, this is preposterous. This is a team that's perpetually bad, so I don't expect anything from them. And I think you're gonna be surprised. I think first off, Cade